Welcome to video 7 in this series on the certification prep video things. Yeah. All right, we're going to talk about units. One of the first few things you normally do when you start a new drawing is set up units. Now, if you've gone to your customization button and you've turned units on here, you can change this really quickly by clicking and changing it to architectural, for instance. I'm going to try to click, there we go, and change it back. The application menu, remember that's what this is called. You can find that in drawing utilities and units. Okay, in the application menu, drawing utilities, units. Maybe questions about that's location. I have to say this: I never use these things when I'm actually using AutoCAD the way I want to use it. I'm using the shortcut alias keyboard commands, UN for units and enter, and it's there. But test questions are going to ask you locations of things. So I'm going to click here, drawing utilities, units, and there we go. Several steps later, we're there. All right, so we can change, there's 5, there may be a question about that, 5 different types of units that we can do. Architectural, decimal, engineering, fractional, and scientific. I can change the precision. So if I'm doing some sort of engineering drawing, I think it's the ANSI standards. When you go to dimension something, only require 2 zeros after the decimal point. So I may change the precision there. The angle precision, you can change that there. The if I'm working in inches or if I'm working in millimeters, I can change that here. I'm normally working in inches. Decimal inches is the default. But yeah, so you can change that there if you want to. All right, so I made this small change, right? Let's do this. I'm gonna just put it on just 1 0 after the decimal there and click OK. Now I'm gonna start drawing a line. So I've got polar tracking on, as I normally do. And the numbers that show up near my cursor and line, the one showing the length there as it gets longer, now that how many decimal points are shown, that changed because of what I put in. Down here, it changed because we changed the precision. They're much smaller numbers if you've got this turned on. The degrees are just whole numbers, so that will change how this all looks. And when you start dimensioning things, it can affect that as well. So I'm going to hit escape. And let me draw a rectangle here, and then I'll select it and do PR for properties. So here, the geometry, it's going to be, the decimals are shown as we set the precision. So it's going to affect all these things when you change the units. All right, so I'm going to select and delete that, and I'm going to close my properties palette. And all right, let's talk about limits right quick. I don't ever really use limits, but unless I'm forced to. But limits just sort of sets the limits where you're drawing, but not really. You can draw outside of it, but it can help if you're drawing a really big or really small object. If you're not zoomed in or zoomed out right, this could help with like some of that viewing, scaling, navigating stuff. But the default limits are 12 inches by 9 inches. So if I hit, there I go doing my keyboard shortcuts again. We don't want to do that, not for this video. So let me start with this. So I'm going to hit Z and enter for the zoom command and A enter for zoom all. And my limits should be the default 12 by 9. Now let's say I did a circle, C for circle, and I'll click somewhere, and I'm working, I'm going to hit D for diameter. I'm working in decimal inches, so 10 feet would be what, 120 inches. So I'm going to put 120 in for diameter. And I hit enter and it's gone, right? Now, a quick fix is just to zoom to the extents of the drawing by double clicking the scroll wheel on your mouse. But if you have limits set up, that wouldn't happen. You wouldn't lose what you just drew, which was way bigger. Because if I'm looking at like a 12 by 9 area, 12-inch by 9-inch area, and I draw something that's like 10 feet long, it's going to disappear on me. So that's what limits will help you do. All right. So you could just start typing limits and start the command the easy way. Or for test question purposes, go to the application menu. And here where you can search for commands, right? So I start typing limits, okay? And there's drawing limits right there, okay? Sorry, it went away. All right, let's do that again. Limits. All right, so I could click here. All right, so limits is started lower left corner, 0, 0. That's fine. I'll hit enter. 12 by 9, that is the default. We're going to do 150, 150 for the upper right corner. All right, and nothing changed, right? Well, actually it did. We just can't see it yet. So I hit Z, enter, A, enter, zoom all, or zoom to the limits. Then I can see my circle that I drew a moment ago that was 10 feet because my limits are larger. All right. So I'm going to stop there, and we will see you, or I will see you. I don't know who we is. I will see you in the next video.